Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the salient features of the Constitution of India. We all know that Constitution of India is unique in its features, and it is the spirit. And generally, the Constitution of India has borrowed from the outside Constitution, which means that from all over the world's Constitution, we have taken some of the things and generally applicable according to the suitability of our Constitution. So in that sense, I would like to categorize some of the things which we people have taken from the outside nation's Constitution. Means this one is not the whole list, but some of the things we have explained over here, through which we people comes to know that we have taken these things from the other Constitution and applicable to all these things to our own Constitution. Number one, the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are generally taken from the American Constitution, American Bill of Rights, and in the context of the fundamental rights, we all can say that they are provided to each and every one or each and every citizen. Not each and everyone means each and every citizen to the India without any kind of the discrimination. And we all know that if these rights got violated, then in that sense we people can move to the outside means to the Supreme Court or to the High Court. So the fundamental rights we people have borrowed from the American Constitution, and later on the concept is related to the directive principles, and the elections method of the president has taken from the Ireland Constitution. Directive principles are generally the directions to the state government while the government is making any kind of the policies, then they have to keep in mind all these kind of the principles. Here I would like to give one examples in that sense. Basically, the Panchayati Raj system has been already added in the directive principles, but later on, according to the 73rd Amendment, it becomes a law and it is applicable to everywhere, means at the village level, and by the application or properly which one is added over there, then there will be the proper elections for the Panchayati Raj system. It means that according to when this one is added to the Constitution of India, then the proper election process has also been held over there for the panchayats. So overall we can say that there are the various means a huge list of directive principles which generally provides a guidance to the state government while they have to make the policies. So directive principles we people have taken from the Ireland. And later on, the parliamentary government, the parliamentary governmental system we people have borrowed from the Britain. As such, we know that the Britishers has ruled over India, and basically the system they have adopted over there in our country, and the peoples of India were very much habitual to that particular system. So while formulating the Constitution of India, the constitution maker has thought that that one will be means very easy means to applicable this kind of the system. So the parliamentary system or the parliamentary government we people have taken from Britain, and the rule of law, single citizenship, cabinet system, and the bicameralism, means all these things we also have taken from the Britain. Rule of law means it means that basically rule of law yani ki laws are all above means anything, and each and every work will be done over here according to the rules and regulations. And later on, the single citizenship concept also we have taken from Britain. It means that there will be no citizenship, no dual citizenship process, means there will be only one single citizenship, and there will be the no dual citizenship process, means the states also do not have any kind of the other citizenship. It means that overall there will be one single citizenship. And later on, the cabinet system has also been adopted from Britain. And the bicameralism means there will be the two houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, means upper house or the lower house. So this kind of the process we people have taken from Britain. And the third one is the impeachment of the president. Impeachment of the president, fundamental rights which we already have discussed, independence of the judiciary, judicial review, and preamble of the Indian constitution. So all these things we have taken from the United States of America. Impeachment of the president means to impeach the president, to remove the president from its office. So this kind of the process we have taken from America. Independence of judiciary, it means that judiciary will be independent. It will not be control of any of the other political system or any of the law, means that it will work independently. Only then in a country the rules will be followed properly. And the judicial review system means the rules made by the government, means that the laws which are made by the legislature and applicable by the executive can be done the judicial review on that one also. So the concept of the preamble of the constitution we also have taken from the United States of America. Preamble of the constitution means in our constitution we already have heard the word we the people of India, means in that particular category there is a whole number of the list. Just like India is a secular country, India is a sovereign country, as well as so many things were included over here. And this kind of the process also we have taken from the United States of America. And the fundamental duties we have taken from the USSR. Fundament means we all have the fundamental rights, means the government will provide, means in our constitution the fundamental rights are exist over here in the article, in the part 3rd of the constitution, and they are totally protected by the judiciary. So in that sense, if we people are enjoying the various kinds of the rights, then in that sense we people also have some kind of the duties as a citizen of India. So in that sense, the fundamental duties we have taken from USSR. And the fundamental rights suspended during the emergency time period. It means that we all know that in India there is 3 kinds of the emergency, and if there will be the emergency time period, and the fundamental rights got suspended, and this kind of the process or this kind of the system we have adopted from Germany. So it should be noted here that the number of the original features of the constitution have undergone the various changes. It means that the various amendment has came into existence to our constitution. Means the things which we people have adopted from the various nations, we generally make some kind of the changes in them according to the necessity of our constitution, and then we people have applicable them also. Means after making the constitution of India, we all know that there were so many amendments to our constitution. Originally, if we will talk that in our constitution there were 395 articles, but at present there are more than 400 articles to our constitution. So that we can say that in our constitution the various amendment has comes over there. If we people talk about them, then according to the 42nd Amendment Act, the preamble of the constitution were amended, in which the sovereign democratic and republic changed to the sovereign socialist secular democratic republic. So these are the basic things. On the behalf of that one, we can say that so many kind of the amendments has comes over there. The 42nd Amendment Act, which comes into existence in 1976, is known as the mini constitution. How we can say that it is known as the mini constitution? Because number of the changes in the Constitution of India have been made under this Amendment Act. And according to the 73rd Amendment Act 1992, the Constitution has added a new part, ninth, to our constitution, like the 11th schedule were added over here, and the panchayats were given the legal status. It means that just 1 or 2 minutes before I have explained that the panchayats comes under the directive principles, but later on it has provided the legal status. And we all know that now basically the panchayats have the proper elections after that kind of the process. So here the things are generally related to the amendment, means in our constitution various kinds of the amendments has comes over there. And however we can say that we people can, means the amendments can be done over there to our constitution, but actually we people can't change the basic structure of the constitution. This thing was clear in the Keswanand Bharti case in 1973, and the Supreme Court ruled that the under Article 368 the basic structure of the constitution cannot be changed. Now we all are going to discuss the features of the Constitution of India. Features of the Constitution of India. About that one, I would like to say that Indian Constitution is the lengthiest or the written constitution, and the Indian Constitution can be classified in, generally we can say that the Constitution generally classified into the two parts, written constitution or unwritten constitution. If we'll take the example of America, then this one is the written constitution, but if we'll take the example of Britain, then the constitution is unwritten over here. The Constitution of India is lengthiest of all the written constitution of the world. It is very comprehensive, detailed and elaborate. Originally, we people can say that the Indian Constitution has a one preamble. There are 395 articles which divided into 22 parts and the 8 schedules. Means while we people are talking about the Constitution that it has came into existence, then at that particular time we generally find out that there are 395 articles which were divided into the 2 parts and the 8 schedules. But while we generally talk about the present situation of our constitution, then we can say that it has 470 articles, 22 parts and the 12 schedules. It has 104 amendments till now, and no other constitution in the world has make so many constitutions till now. So here I would like to say one thing, that if we have taken some of the things from the American Constitution also, and the American Constitution is the oldest constitution also, but if we'll take example of the amendments of the American Constitution, so the very less amendments happens over there. It means that till now there were the 27 amendments which came into existence, but in India till now 104 amendments has came into existence. So there is a reason behind that one also. Here we can say that India is a vast country, and it has Diversity, it means that the very large population the India has, and the various kinds of the people, like various kinds of the language, religions, people are living over here. And on the behalf of that one, we can say that the people's demands various kinds of the things, so that time to time the changes has came to our constitution. And if we will talk about the historical factors of our constitution, then we can say that we people have borrowed so many, we people have taken so many things from the Article 1935 Act, and that one was bulky. It means that that one was very huge, so that the Indian constitution that it has came into existence, it was also very much bulky. And so here we can say that the so many amendments has came into existence to our constitution. And about the federal system with the unitary bias, the Indian constitution is generally have the federal structure. Federal structure means basically the constitution, in our constitution there is this kind of the process that the India will adopt the federal concept. Federal concept means the two governments, division of powers. Two government means the government at the center level or the state level, division of powers. And the rigidity of the constitution is also find out over here. Supremacy of the constitution is also find out. Independent of the judiciary is here. And the bicameralism means the legislature is bicameral over here, means the upper house and lower house is given over here. And basically these kind of the features of our constitution shows that Indian constitution is federal one. But generally we find out that our constitution also have the unitary features also. However, the Indian constitution has federal as well as the unitary features. In that sense, we can say that the strong center is over here, single constitution is over here, single citizenship over here. Strong center means center is all powerful over here, means while we people take example of the emergency time period, then during that particular time the state's power becomes useless. And we can say that India is, or Indian center is following the feature unitary features. And the single constitution means whether it is state or the center, or the powers is generally divided between any of the part, but overall the single citizen, single constitution means concept is followed over here. And later on, the single citizenship concept means the state and the center both have the single citizenship. And the flexibility of the constitution, above we people have discussed that there is rigidity of the constitution also, but there is the flexibility of the constitution also. How we can say that? Basically according to the necessity of the people of our country, we people can make changes to our constitution. And integrated judiciary and appointment of the state governor by the center, all India services and the emergency provisions, all these kind of the things shows that India follows a unitary features of the unitary features. But here one of the most important thing is that there is nowhere written that the Indian constitution the federal word is nowhere written in our constitution. Only the word union of states is written over here in our constitution. Actually overall we can say that the Indian constitution is generally following the federal as well as the unitary features. So by the discussion of this topic, we comes to know one particular conclusion, that India is neither neither a federal country nor a unitary country. It is the quasi-federal country. It means that according to the necessity, it becomes the unitary. Otherwise, both the center and states always done their work at their place. And number three, if we can say that the constitution has drawn from the various sources, which we already have discussed, that the constitution of India has borrowed most of the provision from the various other countries as well as from the Constitution of India Act 1935. Constitution of India has claimed that as such we have taken the various things from the other constitution, but still we people have make them the changes according to the necessity of our country, and we have made our own constitution. So overall the Indian constitution is a written one, and we people have taken most of the things from the Government of India Act 1935. So overall India has adopted the federal concept also, but it is generally following the unitary aspect, and we have taken the constitutional aspect from the other nations also, but we people have generally adopted all these things according to the necessity of our country. Rest of the features of the Indian constitution we will discuss in the next video. Thank you all of you.